A very good morning to all of you. Today we will discuss further in this chapter. So today we will discuss about forms of energy. Before discussing the various forms, you must know what is energy. So from junior classes we have read about it that energy is capacity of doing work. So capacity of doing work is called energy. So we can measure energy of a man by knowing that how much work he can do. So if he has more energy, he can do more work. If anyone has less energy, he can do less work. So we can say that the amount of energy possessed by a body is equal to amount of work it can do when energy is released. That's why the SI unit of energy is same to that of work. And as we have discussed in last class, the SI unit of work is joule and SI unit of energy is also joule. You write a sentence, you write down the amount of energy possessed by a body, the amount of energy possessed by a body is equal to amount of work it can do. Thus the unit of energy is the same as that of work So SI unit of energy is also joule. So this is about energy. Now you also know that there are various forms of energy. So you write the various forms of energy are, there are so many forms of energy. So the first important one you can write electrical energy. We are totally dependent on it nowadays. Electrical energy, chemical energy, heat energy, then mechanical energy, sound energy, light energy. There are so many forms, etc. But in class 9, we have to read about mechanical energy in detail. So what a mechanical energy is? Mechanical energy is combination of potential energy and kinetic energy. In 9 we have to read about mechanical energy in detail. So mechanical energy is combination of potential energy and kinetic energy. Now before we will discuss about potential and kinetic energy, we will discuss about transformation of energy, because some questions are given which are based on transformation of energy. For example, question number 3, chapter end exercises, page 158. So, transformation of energy. In transformation of energy, we will discuss question number 3, page 158. NCERT, page 158, question number 3. The question is, a battery lights a bulb. Describe the energy changes involved in the process. So think over it. When a battery lights a bulb, the battery gives electrical energy to the bulb. So how it gives electrical energy? What are present in a battery? So in battery, as we know, chemicals are there. So we can say that in answer we will write chemical energy of battery is transferred into electrical energy. This chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Now, due to this electrical energy, the bulb glows, and when the bulb glows, it emits light energy, and also gets heated, so heat energy. So in this way, you have to think about the situation and then write the energy transformation. Now, if I ask that write the energy transformation in a thermal power plant, giving some questions, you must write it in your copy. I think you all have written. Now, giving some questions as homework. write the energy transformation in the following cases. Write the energy transformation in the following cases. So first, in thermal power plant. Then tidal power plant or hydroelectric power plant. Then you write when we ride a bicycle. So these three, although there are so many questions of this type, but I want that you all will write the energy transformation for the following questions, that which type of uh, energy transformation is taking place in thermal power plant. Thermal power plant means how electricity is produced in thermal power plant with coal. The basic concept is we are burning coal to make steam, and that steam is used to rotate the turbine, and turbine is connected with generator which gives electricity. So as you know, in coal there is chemical energy. So the chemical energy is converted into heat energy. Heat energy is converted into mechanical energy when we are rotating turbine, and then mechanical to electrical energy. So in this way you will think about all the situations and write the energy transformation, and must submit in my WhatsApp number. So now we will discuss about mechanical energy. So as I have written that mechanical energy is combination of kinetic energy and potential energy. So first we will discuss kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. Symbolically we are writing it as EK. Sometimes we also write K dot E dot for kinetic energy. So what kinetic energy is? So kinetic energy is the energy possessed by an object due to its motion. Anything in motion has kinetic energy. For example, blowing wind has kinetic energy. Flowing water has kinetic energy. If you are riding a cycle, you are in motion, you have kinetic energy. A moving car has kinetic energy. When a baller balls, the ball in motion has kinetic energy. So anything which has motion possesses kinetic energy. So we will write the energy possessed by an object due to its motion is called kinetic energy. For example, blowing wind, flowing water, moving car, etc. There are so many examples. So must learn the definition. Now we will discuss the activity given on page 150 of NCERT book. There are two activities, 11.6 and 11.7. So first, 11.6. Take a heavy ball, drop it on a thick bed of sand. A wet bed of sand would be better. Drop the ball on the sand bed from height of about 25 cm. The ball creates a depression. Repeat this activity from the heights of 50 cm, 1 meter and 1.5 meter. So very simple activity. Suppose there is a sand bed, wet sand bed, and you have to drop a heavy ball over it. Initially you drop it from a height of 25 centimeter, then gradually you have to increase the height. It means afterwards 50 centimeter, then 1 meter, then 1.5 meter. So what you think, that in all the cases depression will be same or it will be different? They are saying ensure that all the depressions are distinctly visible. It means you have to drop the ball not at same place but at different places on the wet sand bed. Mark the depression to indicate the height from which the ball was dropped. Compare their depths. Which one of them is deepest? So when we drop a ball from 1.5 meter height, then that depression will be deepest. Which one is shallowest? So when we drop it from 25 centimeter. Why? What has caused the ball to make a deeper dent? Discuss an analysis. So when we drop the ball from 25 centimeter, so the height is very less. So although gravitational pull is there, but the velocity of ball is very less. As we increase the height, the velocity of the ball gradually increases as the height increases, and so if the height will increase, so velocity increases, so it will mark depression will be of greater depth. Another activity, set up the apparatus as shown in figure 11.5. So you see there is a table and a wooden block is placed of known mass is they have placed it in front of a trolley at a convenient fixed distance. Place a known mass on the pan so that the trolley starts moving. The trolley moves forward and hits the wooden block. Fix a stop on the table. You see a stop they have fixed at the end of the table in such a manner that the trolley stops after hitting the block. The block gets displaced. Note down the displacement of the block. This means work is done on the block by the trolley because the block is displaced by applying a force. So we can say that work is done by the trolley. As work is done on the block by the trolley as the block has gained energy. From where does this energy come? Repeat this activity by increasing the mass of the pan. In which case is the displacement more? In which case is work done more? In this activity, the moving trolley does work and hence it possesses energy. It means a moving object can do work. An object moving faster can do more work than an identical object moving relatively slower. As in case of heavy ball, when it is dropped from a height of 25 centimeter, so that time the depression is shallower. But when it is dropped from a height of 1.5 meter, then depression is deepest. So work done is more when we increase the height. So we can say that as the height increases, it acquires more energy. How does a bullet pierce a target? How does the wind moves the blades of windmill? Object in motion possesses energy. We call this energy kinetic energy. A falling coconut, a speeding car, a rolling stone, a flying aircraft, flowing water, blowing wind, a running athlete, etc. possesses kinetic energy. In short, kinetic energy is the energy possessed by an object due to its motion, as we have written. The kinetic energy of an object increases with its speed. So, as we increase the speed, as we increase the velocity, the kinetic energy will also increase. How much energy is possessed by a moving body by virtue of its motion? Now we will try to find out an expression that if an object is in motion, then how much energy it possesses. By definition, we can say that kinetic energy of a body moving with a certain velocity is equal to the work done on it to make it acquire that velocity. So now we will derive an expression for kinetic energy. So very important derivation. Expression for kinetic energy. EK stands for kinetic energy. So write, considering an object, write down, considering an object of mass m, considering an object of mass m, as I have written small m, you will also write small m, with uniform velocity, u. Next sentence, let it now be displaced through a distance s. Let it now be displaced through a distance s when a constant force F acts on it. Then you write, we know that work done by this force will be equal to work done by this force will be equal to W is equal to F into S. In last class we have derived this expression. Then write this work done on the object causes a change. This work done on the object causes a change in its velocity. Causes a change in its velocity. Let the velocity changes. Let the velocity changes. Let the velocity changes from u to v. Due to this work done, the velocity changes, and let the velocity changes from u to v. And the last sentence you write, let a be the acceleration produced. Let a be the acceleration produced. Then from third equation of motion, then from third equation of motion, we can write as you know, third equation of motion is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Now from this equation we can write s is equal to v square minus u square by 2a. Written, and better we will mark these equations as earlier you have written w is equal to f into s. Mark here it as equation 1. This is equation 2. Then write from Newton's second law of motion, we know that F is equal to ma. You all are familiar with this equation, how to measure force. So force is equal to mass into acceleration. Mark it as equation 3. Now we will use equation 2 and 3 in equation 1. So equation 1 is W is equal to F into S. So for F we will write ma here, and for S we will write V square minus U square by 2a. So write using equation 2 and 3, in equation 1 we can write W is equal to, for F we are writing ma, and for S we are writing V square minus U square by 2a. Now this a is cancelled, so or we can write W is equal to half m v square minus u square. Mark it as equation number 4. So here the initial velocity of object was u, as we have assumed that the object is moving initially. But if object starts moving from rest, suppose object is start moving from rest, then this initial velocity u will be 0, and equation 4 can be written as so write, if the object start moving from rest, then u is equal to 0, and equation 4 becomes w is equal to half mv square. Mark it as equation number 5. Now if you think about this equation, equation number 5, it means work done is equal to half mv square. Now due to this work done, the object has acquired a velocity, and if it acquires velocity, it means it has kinetic energy, because in definition we have written that the energy possessed by an object due to its motion is called kinetic energy. So due to this work done, the object has acquired a velocity, and that work done is equal to half mv square. It means the kinetic energy is also equal to half mv square. That's why it is written that it is clear that work done is equal to change in the kinetic energy of the object. So if initial velocity is 0, then work done is equal to half mv square. Thus kinetic energy possessed by the object of mass m will be, so write it, after equation 5 you will write due to this work done, the object acquires velocity, hence the kinetic energy of the object will be Ek is equal to half mv square. Mark it as equation 6. So we have derived an expression for kinetic energy. Now all these equations are very important. So kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Now sometimes we have derived the equation work done is equal to force into displacement, work done is equal to change in kinetic energy, work done is equal to kinetic energy, and kinetic energy is half mv square. So all these equations are important for numericals. Equation number 4 work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. Here work done is equal to kinetic energy, and this is kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. And earlier in last class we have derived that work done is equal to force into displacement. So a very important derivation, children. You must practice it. It may come in exam, long answer questions, and a numerical will be there with it. So now we will discuss some of the questions, numerical questions. I think it is clear to you. Now we will discuss the numerical problems. So question number 3, page 152. The kinetic energy of an object of mass m moving with a velocity of 5 meter per second is 25 joule. So mass of object is given m and it is moving with a velocity of 5 meter per second, and EK kinetic energy is given 25 joule. What will be its kinetic energy when its velocity is doubled? And what will be its kinetic energy when its velocity is increased 3 times? So first find out the mass, then we can calculate the kinetic energy when velocity is double and tripled. So as we know, EK is equal to half mv square. So EK is 25 joule kinetic energy, half n we have to calculate, and V is 5, so 5 square. So this can be written as, or 25 into 2 is equal to 5 square will be 25 m. Therefore m is equal to 25 into 2 by 25. So mass is 2 kg. Now according to question, we have to calculate kinetic energy when velocity is doubled. So now it is 5, double of it will be 2 into 5, it means 10 meter per second. So EK is equal to again half mv square. So it will be half, m we have calculated 2 kg, and V is 10 square. 2 cancel, so it will be 100 joule. Then again you have to calculate kinetic energy when velocity increases 3 times. Again, according to question, velocity increases 3 times, it means now it is 3v, so it will be 3 into 5, so now velocity is 15 meter per second. So if velocity is 15 meter per second, again calculate the kinetic energy. It will be half m v square, so half into 2, v is 15 square. 2 cancel, so it will be 225 joule. So in this way you have to solve the questions. What is the kinetic energy of an object? Question number 1 is that we have written already. Second question, write an expression for the kinetic energy of an object. So if you have to write only expression, you will write this expression, but when you have to derive, then whole derivation you have to write about it. So derivation is obviously of more mark question. Now we will discuss some more questions. For example, question number 4. Question 4, page 158. We are solving this question from chapter and exercise. Question number 4 is certain force acting on a 20 kg mass. So write down the given thing symbolically. Mass of object is given 20 kg. Changes its velocity from 5 meter per second to 2 meter per second. It means u is 5 and it changes to 2 meter per second. Its final velocity is 2 meter per second. Calculate the work done by the force. You have to calculate the work done by the force. So recall equation, I think it is 4. So as I tell you earlier that all equations are important, so we can calculate work done by using this formula. Work done is equal to half mv square minus u square. Now put the values, so it will be half into 20 into 2 square minus 5 square. In this space substitute the values. Now simplify it. So it will be 10, then it will be 10 in bracket we have 4 minus 25. So it will be 10 into minus 21. So minus 210 joule. So we are getting negative sign. It means the work done is negative here. And it is clear from the question that velocity decreases from 5 to 2 meter per second. It means brakes are applied. That's why the speed decreases or the velocity decreases. So the amount of work done is 210 joule, and negative sign shows that work done is negative. Now example questions are equally important, children. Example 11.3 and example 11. These two questions are classwork. In last 5 minutes, I want to see answer of these questions in your copy. You must go through these examples, not simply copy it from the book. Try to understand the things which we have discussed today. These numericals are based on that formulas only. The important equations which we have written today. So must go through these two example questions. So in last 5 to 7 minutes you will solve these questions. These questions are classwork and send it to me in my WhatsApp number. Okay, this much for today, children. Thank you.